All nature lovers. I myself got interested in nature through trekking, through going to forests, and my life changed because of being in forests. That's it. But today I'm going to speak about turtle conservation initially, because that's what I've been doing for a while now. So we'll start with this group. So first we'll just cover the basics. At any point of time, if you want to ask something, just stop and ask rather than holding it till the end. So basically there are 7 kinds of sea turtles in the world. We start with the largest sea turtle. It's called the leatherback. This picture was taken in Andaman. It nests in Andaman and Lakshadweep, nowhere else in India. But there's in certain countries like Thailand, Australia, and a few other countries. It's as I told you, it's the largest sea turtle. It grows on an average to about 5 to 6 feet in length and easily weighs 350-400 kilos. But it's also been recorded that one of the turtles was 11 feet in length and weighed 1,000 kilos. So it can grow as large as that. They feed exclusively on jellyfish, and they can dive really deep. They dive up to 1,000 meters, and they are known to be very agile swimmers. It is said that they can spin circles around a shark. So they are very fast, they are very mobile, and they travel a lot. Yeah. This is the green turtle. Once upon a time, the most abundant sea turtle in the world. This sea turtle alone, among the 7, is a pure herbivore. So it primarily feeds on seagrass, and all over the world, along with dugongs and manatees, this used to be responsible for keeping the seagrass mowed and in good condition. Seagrass, as you all would know, is very important as a nursery for marine organisms to lay their eggs in and stuff. Around the 15th century, it is estimated there were around 1 billion green turtles. But that's when Columbus discovered America. That was the area where there was a huge congregation of green turtles. But in fact, Darwin says that he saw a sea of turtles when he went to the West Indies. But since then, they have been massacred for their meat, and just because of the killing, today barely exists. It's there in a few thousand here and there. That's it. It's one of the really tragic stories. And one more interesting fact is that the whole colonial process, that of the Western world taking over the rest of the world, was powered by turtle meat. So these colonizing ships would go to the West Indies, pick up these turtles, stock them in the ship, and use that as a fresh source of meat to go and conquer the world. So a lot of history here. Yeah, the loggerhead is another largest turtle. It's, as the name suggests, it's got a big head like a log. It's also known to be a little snappy. Most turtles are quite gentle by nature, but this one is not so gentle. Maybe because it lives in America. It's yeah, this is the flatback. It's found exclusively only in Australia. So it's our mite from Australia. Doesn't go anywhere. The hawksbill, again, this is considered the most beautiful sea turtle because it's got a beautiful carapace. As the name suggests, it's also got a pointed bill. Because of the beautiful shell, it has been killed. And as you would know, like those days, what shall we say, collector's items, or the really rich would use turtle combs or buttons or whatever. It's all made from this one's shell. This one again is a very interesting turtle. This is something different from others. That this one, all sea turtles are known to travel. They are known to be, they're called ancient mariners. But this particular one is known to stay in one place. It has a home. So it normally stays in one coral reef, which it likes very much. And there it feeds exclusively on sponges, keeping the population of sponges down and thereby maintaining the coral reef as such. Yeah, today again, though today they're trying to promote it because seeing a live hawksbill is a rarity. So through the ecotourism, they're trying to keep them alive, but still they are being killed. The Kemp's Ridley, another interesting thing about this one lives largely only in Mexico and North America. And there was a guy who was an amateur photographer. In the 1970s, he was flying in his biplane low over Mexico, and he took a video of his flight. And that video, there was a shot of about 40,000 of these turtles nesting in a Mexican beach. And that was shown through the amateur network in various places. He kept showing it. And at the same time, the scientific community had heard that these were mass nesting, and they were on the lookout to find out where the beach was. It took them 30 years to find this video. And by the time they found it and found the beach, the turtle population had dropped to 300 from 40,000. So then they discovered the beach, then they discovered the species, then they tried to conserve it, they did all they could, and today the population is somewhere around, I forgot the number, around 5,000. Around 5,000 are there, yeah. So this is our own, olive ridley. Though it's got a Tamil name and it nests a lot in Indian waters, it also nests in 100 countries. But the largest population will maybe one in Orissa. As you might know, this one turtle is known for its mass nesting. So they nest, like last year, they nested in 2 places in Orissa. They nest in 3 places. That is a place called Rushikulya, in the Devi river mouth, and Gahir Mata. So last year in two locations alone, 250,000 of these turtles nested. This year there was an Aribara last week. Aribara is when these turtles come in really large numbers and nest over a short period of time. This year the Aribara started 10 days back, and through 48 hours they went on nesting. Normally they nest only in the night. 48 hours they went on nesting, but abruptly in 2 days the nesting stopped, and the rough estimate is about 80,000 turtles have nested. This year we find turtle nesting is very poor. We'll come to that later. Yeah, this is basically to cover the difference. So a lot of people get confused between turtles and tortoise and freshwater turtles and sea turtles. So just to cover the ground, this is a very popular tortoise found in India, the star tortoise, often exported, found in airports. They'll find it being smuggled and all that. So tortoises are hard-shelled, dome-shaped creatures with the legs, which move slowly, like in the hare and tortoise race and stuff like that. You must have heard the slow-moving tortoise. This is it. It can pull its leg inside, pull its head inside, and lives terrestrially, eats only plants, stuff like that. The largest of its kind is the Pacific Island tortoises, the Aldabra tortoise, the Galapagos tortoise. They are the largest, and they are known to live also for a very long time. They can live easily, they say, well, not easily, but 200 years. They're even known to live up to 300 years. We have them in the children's park and in the Croc Bank. Yeah. These are freshwater turtles. These are found in rivers, wells, ponds, lakes, whatever, quite abundant. There are about 30 odd species in India. These one are a mix of these two. They do have digits, but they have webbing between them. So they can swim underwater, they can also stay on land. They do pull their heads and legs inside, but they are more streamlined, so they can swim in, and they can be in ponds and rivers, but they can also be on land without water for a long time. So the sea turtles are constantly on the move, except during the mating and breeding time. They are traveling the world's oceans all the time. So our olive ridley comes to the Indian waters around September, and there is a mating time after that. And after the gestation period, the female turtles start nesting sometime in January. So the nesting happens through January, February, and March. So yeah, so they come in swimming. They mostly stay on the top surface. Mating also happens in water. The male turtle has claws with which he holds the female turtle on the back. So mating on the surface. Yeah, once she's ready, she comes ashore mostly at night, and she mostly comes during high tide. But she comes in and she first digs what's called a body cavity. She makes a shallow pit, and then she uses her hind flippers. So she's making a body pit. She's using her flippers to dig a shallow pit, and then she uses her hind flippers to dig a nest, which has got a long neck and what we call a chamber. So it's like 1.5 feet deep. So for 20 centimeters there is a neck, and then there is a largest chamber inside. And once she does that, she starts laying her eggs. The eggs are like a ping pong ball size. They're very soft at the time of laying. And these olive ridleys are known to nest definitely 2 times in a season, and sometimes even 3 times. And the first time she nests, she lays anything between 120 and 200 eggs. Normally 120, 130, 140, 160, like that. And yeah, so once she does that, once she lays the eggs, you can see the egg falling from the cloaca. It's very soft, and it comes along with a certain mucus which protects it from certain fungal attacks and all that. Yeah, this is the whole clutch of eggs. And each egg, you will see, has a small depression where it has landed, on another egg. And the eggs harden up after a few hours. So for us, it's that we need to take them before they harden. So it's about 5 to 6 hours. That's the time we have. Yeah. Yeah, so once she lays the eggs, she pushes the sand back, and this particular turtle is the lightest of the sea turtles. So she has to use her body to compact the nest. So she does a bit of a dance on it. So she uses her whole body and goes dum, dum, dum. You can feel the vibration some distance away. We call it a dance. And then she camouflages the whole place by throwing sand all over the place, and then she goes back. So when we walk, we look for the down track. She's leaving a down track now, and an up track and a clearing. Yeah. She's just returning back to sea. Yeah, this is the Aribard I spoke to you about. Sometimes, once in 10 years, as it happened this year, they also nest during daytime. So sometimes it's possible to get shots. This is an evening shot. Yeah, this is them coming out during daytime. So around 45 days later, the hatchlings emerge on their own from the nest, and they're programmed to move towards a brighter horizon. So they would just, normally, they would just walk into the sea and have to fend for themselves. There is no parental instinct among turtles. Yeah, so once these babies go in, they just have to keep swimming. They have about there's enough stored food in them to last about a week. So they have to find their food source. And we don't know much about what happens to them. Next we see them about this size. But they float around with seaweed masses. And 12 to 15 years it takes for them to reach maturity, for them to come back. But the interesting thing is that turtles, once they are mature, they come back to nest in the same place they were born, all sea turtles. Well, the reason we are here and we are talking about all this is because they are going extinct at a phenomenal rate. The main reasons, is because they get caught in trawlers. The biggest reason turtles are dying all over the world, as other marine organisms are dying, is because of mindless trawling, where the trawlers go and just grab everything that they can get and take very small percentage of what is caught, and the rest is is wasted as bycatch. So a lot of them die. This year we have seen is the lowest so far. That's because of the less number of turtles here. 25 dead turtles already. Like last year we saw 100 dead turtles. So lots of dead turtles just drown and get washed ashore. This is how we see them, grotesque, bloated, eyes popping out. They also get caught in nets, and therefore they drown. So this is a scene here in North Madras, Kasimede, where these are trawlers of India, very small, what by Western standards would be called a small boat, but there are so many in number that they are still bad enough to kill turtles, caught as a bycatch. Yeah, another problem is this so much plastic floating around in the sea. A plastic bag in the water looks like jellyfish, and many of these turtles eat jellyfish. So they come up from below, and they see this plastic bag, they just think it's jellyfish, and by the time they have grabbed it, it chokes them. And we have seen so many turtles with the plastic caught in them, therefore having died. Another very sad thing is that, as I said earlier, these hatchlings are programmed to move towards a brighter horizon. They had not anticipated human scientific development and all this. So in the last 100 years, they have got completely disoriented. For 100 million years, it served them well to find the sea. But now it completely disorients them and sends them in the wrong direction. Here is a volunteer of ours looking for baby turtles near the road. This is what Chennai looks like by the night. And the stretch that we walk over the years, there's so much lights which have been added, more and more development, more and more buildings, clubs, whatever. And so it's fully brightly lit. These red lights indicate the villages, and the yellow light indicates a continuous stream of light. Yeah, so people keep asking us why turtles, and I always throw the question back to them. So why turtles? There's no particular reason that only turtles have to be saved. Every single living organism has a reason to live. We didn't create them. But just to give a simple answer, we use the leatherback. So the leatherbacks exclusively feed on jellyfish, and jellyfish feed on fish larvae and fish young. So no leatherback, and the fish young are not allowed to grow, they won't get fish. So no leatherback, no fish, no fishing industry, and that's good. Isn't that a good reason to save the turtle? Did you say something? Okay, green turtles, as I said earlier,